I'm going to make a crazy claim, and that is that most people don't lack opportunities to develop purpose in their life. Most people just simply misunderstand what purpose actually is and how it is developed. Now, most people have a definition, an understanding of purpose that is false, that is wrong, and that holds them back from cultivating it. And that understanding of purpose is seeing it as one big thing that announces itself and establishes itself over your entire life. Then you can say to yourself, well, my life has meant this. I have this purpose in life. Everybody's searching for that. Everybody's searching for what is my life's purpose. But I've read a book recently called Finding Your Own North Star, and your North Star can change. So if your North Star can change, if what your vision is can change, if your dream, if your goal, if what you're moving toward can change, meaning that your values and your priorities can change as well, then surely your purpose is ever changing too. Don't get me wrong, it will have similar elements to it, but it will never be the same as it was today, and it will never be the same tomorrow. And so people see purpose as this thing that will announce itself, and that holds them back because when you're waiting for it to announce itself, you don't investigate it, you don't start to cultivate it, you wait for it to come to you. And yes, purpose is all around us. And it does come to us when we ask the right questions, when we operate from the right frequency. But purpose operates a lot like an onion, which is an analogy I take directly from David Data's The Way of the Superior Man, which for any young men or any men in general who want to understand more about their masculinity and become more in touch with their mature masculinity, I would recommend you to read The Way of the Superior Man. But David Data in that book, among many other profound things, describes the analogy of the onion as a metaphor for purpose. Now, an onion has many layers. Now, there are layers of purpose, and as you peel one layer back, you get to another layer of purpose. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Most people wait for purpose because they think it's something that announces itself. They think it's something grand, not simply a layer of an onion. And if it's as unimportant as that, then people don't see it as purpose. They see it as distraction. But it's still purpose because it brings you closer to the deepest layer of purpose. But if you never start peeling back that onion, what will happen? It will go bad. It will rot. It will go moldy. And then when you try and peel it back, what is there will not be consumable. It will not be edible. It will not be nutritious. It will not serve its purpose no longer. And so, because you're trying to speed run life, you're trying to get to the innermost layer without peeling the outer layers first, you're actually letting the onion go bad. Because you're waiting for purpose to announce itself in your life instead of actively peeling the layers back, instead of actively investigating purpose and seeing opportunities or trying to see opportunities where you can cultivate it in your life, you're waiting for it to be grand enough. You're waiting for it to be significant enough. You're waiting for it to come to you without actually asking the right questions. Now, Viktor Frankl famously was asked. Now, Viktor Frankl is the author, the Holocaust survivor, and a psychologist who survived, obviously, the Holocaust and wrote two books, two perennial books, two canonical books, in my opinion, stemming from his experiences. And those are Man's Search for Meaning, which I obviously recommend to all of you, and Say Yes to Life, which is his less well-known book, but it's still very good as well. And in that book, he discusses how somebody in a lecture was in a rush and they wanted to get their question in before they had to leave. And so they interrupted Frankel's lecture, I think it was. And they said to him, Frankel, Dr. Frankel, please, I just need to ask this before I go because this is the question that's been nagging at me and I need an answer from you. What is the purpose of my life? And Frankel laughed. Frankel found it whimsical. He was quite amused by the question. But he said to whoever asked that question, please don't take this as a criticism or as offensive, what I'm about to say, but you're asking the wrong question. A better question is, what is my purpose right now? When we're trying to perceive the purpose of our life, it's hard to piece it together. We can only really piece it together when we look back. I think it was Bill Gates who said that. The dots all seem to connect, the puzzle pieces all seem to fit together when we look back, when we look in hindsight, when we look in retrospect, rather than when we're looking forward or when we're looking at the present moment. It's very hard to perceive purpose in the present moment when we're looking for a grand version of purpose, when we're looking for the purpose of life. But if life is happening right now, in this present moment, and nowhere else, which is a spiritual claim but a philosophical one as well, then the purpose of right now is the purpose of life, because you're never guaranteed to reach tomorrow, although you act like you are. And so your purpose in your day right now, in this present moment, is your purpose in life. And if you understand that we need to start looking for purpose on a daily basis rather than what is my life's purpose, because that question is just too complex and it's just too general for us to be able to answer with any degree of accuracy, then you will start asking every single day, not every single week or not every single month, what things am I doing that are bringing me purpose? But not only that, what things are calling out to me? What problems do I need to solve? What inadequacies can I improve? What weaknesses can I strengthen? And that is how you enter the world of purpose. But because you have this unrealistic expectation of what purpose is, of a grand life purpose, you're not looking for those small opportunities daily to cultivate small amounts of purpose. But a small amount of purpose is still purpose nonetheless. And so rid yourself of this idea that for purpose to be significant, it has to be large, it has to be grand, it has to be life-changing. No, it doesn't. Because purpose underlies everything we do on a daily basis. For every effect, there is a cause. For every action, there is a reaction. And therefore, behind all of what we do, behind all of why we do what we do, there is a purpose, there is a reason. And you need to start investigating that, not over your entire life, because that's just too hard for you to understand, but over your days. Start assessing your days more clearly and more honestly and more consistently, and you will find where you lack purpose. It's not just that people have no vision today, it's that they have no vision that inspires hope, or no vision that is their own. A lot of people are given a pathway forward by parents, by teachers, by people in their lives, by institutions even. You're going to finish school and you're going to get a job, or you're going to get an apprenticeship, or you're going to go to university. You're not being consulted. You're not really being considered as to what you as an individual want to do, or what your specific interests or talents are. You're kind of put in a box based on your interests and talents, but you're still in a box nonetheless that has been inherited. And that's why the vision doesn't inspire hope, even if it's a vision you would like to move toward, because it's not authentically yours. You haven't created it. And that's why when you start asking on a daily basis, what is the purpose of my life? What is the purpose of this present moment? What can I do to give myself a feeling of purpose? What are the things in my life that are calling themselves out to me? As in, they need to be investigated, they need to be considered, they need to be thrown right into. You need to throw yourself into the things in your life that you have been avoiding, the things in your life that you haven't been confronting, and the things in your life that you know you need to change, the things in your life you know you could make better. And that will come from you, not anybody else. You won't be inheriting somebody's structure for your future, or somebody's vision for what they would like from you so they can live vicariously through you, or so that you can achieve their goals, in a sense of being a productive member of society, despite the fact that that may well be one of your goals, one of your purposes, a layer of your purpose, in a sense. Also, I think we're just not aware enough. As I said, we're not aware enough of what purpose actually is, and we're not aware on a daily basis of how purpose calls itself out to us. For example, I myself right now, I'm in a phase where I'm really trying to become more spiritually in touch with myself and more self-controlled. And what I've been noticing is that there have been opportunities where in the day I'll have a little bit of time to myself where I'm not doing something, and I'll be called toward meditation. Now, because I don't see that as productive, or because I don't see it as beneficial in, you know, another way, in a productive way, then I'll postpone it. But if I see it as a layer of purpose, if I see it as an answer to a problem, a potential solution to an issue that I've been facing, such as spiritual apathy or a spiritual disconnection, then I'll be able to do it. So it has to come from the problems you actually feel. Because some problems irk us more than others. Some people are happy to live with some problems, and some people are unhappy to live with those exact same problems. So it's not about eliminating problems, it's about finding problems that you're okay with. It's about finding problems that you're good with. It's a problem being disciplined, but it's a problem not being disciplined. So what problem will I choose? Because if I can feel purposeful, if I can feel if I can feel aligned in the problems that I'm facing, that is a far stronger degree of alignment, of purpose, than if there were no problems. Because problems, suffering, adversity, setbacks, these all are opportunities to reveal to you how strong your purpose really is when it is pushed. Now, most people also forget to ask why. As I said, everything we do comes from a purpose. It has a reason, it has a cause. But most people forget to ask why. They forget to look inwardly. They think they're pulled by external things, like they want this money, like they want this girl, like they want this pleasure, this experience, like they want to eat this food. But it's what it represents. Does it represent pleasure? How will it make you feel? Because every external thing we're actually seeking is really just a mask, just a disguise, just a veil which hides behind it a internal feeling, an internal feeling that you're actually seeking. So you may not just be seeking this woman or this promotion or this amount of money or this business success. You may actually be seeking an internal feeling. And an internal feeling is temporary, it's fragile. So you have to build to renew that feeling. And so people say do things to make yourself feel good. Well, that's not always the best thing to do. Do things that make you feel good over the longest time frame that you can possibly imagine, because those are the things that are purposeful. Those are the things that are long-term oriented. They're not just oriented around what you, in the shallow present moment, in the selfish, self-serving sense, want right now, because that is not always what you want in the future. And often it costs you that future that you actually want. By having what you want right now, you may actually be giving up what you want in the future. And by having what you don't want now, you may actually be getting what you want in the future. For example, I don't want to meditate right now. Most people don't want to do these productive self-improvement habits, but they do them anyway, even though they don't want to do them, because they know it is going to make their future more inhabitable for them, more desirable. They're going to enjoy their future more as a result of not enjoying right now. And isn't that beautiful that we can perceive that? But we forgot to look for it. And that's why it seems like it's disappeared, but it hasn't. And so ultimately, what I want you to know is that purpose is something that you can cultivate on a daily basis. Feel for a problem that is bothering you right now, and then take steps toward addressing that problem today. And you will feel more purposeful today, but you will also feel more purposeful tomorrow. And you will also be more likely to be able to cultivate a different layer of purpose tomorrow, alongside the layer of purpose that you unlocked today, the problem that you faced today. Because the more problems you face, the more capable you are of facing bigger problems. And so face a problem, whatever it is, whatever problem seems to be most urgent, most needing of being addressed in your life right now. Investigate that. And then soon enough, you'll recognize other problems as well. And soon enough, you'll have built the ability to face them too. And also, live on your own terms. Don't let somebody else tell you what your purpose is. Stop asking for your life's purpose like you are God or like anybody else is God and has that level of perception, that level of omniscience, because we just don't. And so it's an unwise question to ask yourself, despite the fact that we all ask that question. Start to understand that that question may be able to be answered, but only in retrospect. So you have to actually live out your purpose first before you can actually see what it is. And also recognize that purpose in the present moment may not feel as you'd like it to feel. It may not feel as empowering, as inspiring, as significant as you'd like it to be. But that's because you've probably conditioned yourself, or you've probably been conditioned to believe that the deepest layer of the onion is the only part of purpose that matters. But the more you avoid peeling the layers back one by one, actually getting into the onion, the more you give it an opportunity to go moldy, to go bad. And I think that's a great analogy to sum up a lot of our relationships to purpose today. It's like an onion that's continually going bad. It's starting to develop a wretched smell. It's starting to become inedible and also completely lacking of all of its nutrients. And that's why when people actually do go to investigate the onion later in life, they often find that time has passed. It's too late. And I don't want that for you guys, and I don't want that for me. So let's start to investigate purpose today in whatever small forms that we can, because purpose is something that is far more significant than pleasure or temporary happiness. And purpose is the only way, I believe, that we as men specifically are going to develop a degree of confidence, a degree of fulfillment, a degree of satisfaction from life, without asking anything from life, but rather starting to ask what life is asking of us. If you enjoyed this video and it helps you in any way, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, while you're there, if you want to see more videos like this from me, make sure you hit the notifications bell too. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching and taking time out of your day. I hope this video helped. Speak soon.